Hi and welcome to this new tutorial, and today I want to show you a way to synthesize your kick drums directly into your SP404. These are two examples, and by the way, in my latest spec, Digital Pulse, I've included a lot of kicks that I have made with this technique. Traditionally, the kicks are made out of sine waves. We can synthesize from scratch our kick drum and other piece of the kits, but let's stick with the kick drum for this tutorial. First thing first, I want to generate a new sine wave. So shift record settings, and I'm in the sound generator menu, and as you know, we can choose different sine waves, but let's stick with the different waveform, but let's stick with the sine wave for this tutorial. Of course, you can build your kick also with others waveform, but let's generate the basic kick. Now, 1 second length is good, so record. And now I have my 1 second sine wave. Right, a key ingredient of a percussive sound is the pitch envelope. So we don't have a proper pitch envelope into the ESP, but we have a kind of a pitch envelope hidden inside the effects section. Let me show you. I want to switch the bus 2 so I can change my effects. My bus 2 Effect 3 is always my go-to bus and slot for sound design. I find it so convenient. Now I want to use the stopper. Think about that. The stopper is a pitch envelope. If we activate the stopper, pitch is going down, right? So this is a pitch envelope. Now I want to use this envelope to generate my thump on this kick. Did you hear that? There is this little thump, and this occurs when you are activating the effect, so you are activating the pitch envelope. Now, of course, we can choose how long we want the envelope and how deep we want the pitch envelope to be. The resonance is controlling kind of the tail of the envelope. Maybe, yeah, 1 out of 8. So we have to resample this. And now we have to simply cut it up. So we are interested only in the part where the envelope occurs. Right? So let's zero crossing snap. Here. And now let's adjust also the endpoint. And now we have something that is close to a kick from this, right? Now we have our base sample. We can start to use the effects. First thing first, I want to add a little bit of bite with the compressor. or maybe first with the equalizer, you can choose various frequencies, and I tend to, let's reset this so you can see how I like to EQ my kicks. We can set the frequencies from the low, mid, and highs, and usually kicks are good on 80s, on low frequencies, mid frequencies about 200 and 400 is good to carve a little bit of the medium frequencies. It really depends on the kicks, so in this case on the bass waveform that you have choose to build your kick. And usually on 2K you can find the click of the kick itself. 2K and a half, something like that. It depends on the sound. Let's stick with these values and let's add some highs. Let's try 2K and a half. Yeah, the mid, which is this annoying frequencies, we can carve a little bit. And let's try maybe 100. Yeah. Nice. So let's resample. It's a little bit more clean, right? And now we can add our compressor. So a little Q on the compressor, I lowered down the level by 20%, and I like to use, in this case, just to bring up a little bit the transient, the initial transient. So lower ratio, it's really low the ratio, and the most important things are attack and decay or sustain of the compressor. A slower attack and a fast sustain leads you to the result of having a much more transient prominent and less of the tail of the sample. So it's what I want, okay? And you can hear the aggression on the transient. So let's resample. And now it's starting to sound like a kick. But let's continue to use our effects. I want to use also a little bit of distortion. Just a touch, not too much. Just to bring a little bit more of the higher harmonics. Yes. And every time I add an effect, I resample. So I have always my sample from start, from scratch. Right? Now let's add something else. I don't know, maybe a cool trick we can do with the filter. This is a thing I always use in my production. It's to use the filter to curve a little bit of the sub-bass frequencies that we don't need in a kick, and point a little bit more out on the bass resonant frequency. So in order to do that, we have to activate the filter, and on the high pass filter, and with the cutoff, of course now we don't have any kicks anymore, but if we add the resonance, a generous amount of resonance, and we move the cutoff, we are start to find the bass frequency or the fundamental frequency. So I want to add a little bit of a beef and I can add or subtract this frequency. Sorry, not subtract, but add or leave at 0 this frequency. I'm boosting with the cutoff. Basically, the resonance here is a kind of a booster of the frequency. Or sample. And yeah, this is it. You can go further with the effects. Maybe you can use another compressor, or you can use overdrives. It's really up to you and to your taste. This is a bass method to generate from scratch into the SP a kick drum. Then with the different waveforms, different effects and stuff like that, you can really sculpt your kick. Oh, sorry. You can really sculpt your kick. So this is heavier, for instance. Right, this was a quick one. I'm continuing to dig into synthesizing from scratch drum kit, so I guess I will publish more content on that. And if you need samples or project packs for the SP404 and Octatrack Digitakt and mixing or mastering service for your tracks, just check my Gumroad page, and I hope this tutorial will be useful for you in some way. And thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!